We've all heard the saying, "An elephant never forgets." It's a classic, right? But what does that really mean? Is it just about remembering a face, or is there something far deeper, far more profound at play? Honestly, it's so much more than a simple party trick. Today we're going to pull back the curtain and show you how an elephant's mind isn't just powerful, it's practically legendary. We'll uncover how these magnificent creatures can recall ancient migration routes to literally save their families from the jaws of drought, how they can recognize a long-lost friend after 23 years apart, and even how they mourn their dead with a depth of emotion that might just astound you. The secrets hidden in the mind of the elephant aren't just amazing. They're more astounding, more intricate, and more vital than you can possibly imagine. So, prepare to have your understanding of intelligence, memory, and even empathy completely reshaped. Section 1. The brain behind the legend. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the actual hardware behind this incredible legend. An African elephant carries an 11-pound brain. Yes, you heard that right, 11 pounds. That makes it the largest brain of any land animal walking our planet. Now don't just think about the sheer size. Think about what's inside that magnificent organ. The cerebral cortex, the part responsible for all the heavy lifting in terms of memory and higher thought, is folded much like ours. But it occupies an absolutely colossal surface area. This isn't just random. Those folds are crucial for packing in more processing power. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Neuroscientists at the University of Witwatersrand made a groundbreaking discovery. Elephant cortical neurons aren't just big, they're structurally unique. These brain cells have extra branching, like superhighways, that let distant regions of the brain talk to one another more efficiently and extensively than we previously thought possible. What does this extra branching translate to in real terms? It means long-term memories aren't just stored, they're cross-referenced, interconnected, and can be pulled up with incredible detail decades later, when they're needed most. And then there's the hippocampus, that seahorse-shaped memory hub nestled deep within the brain. In elephants, it's proportionally twice as large as a human's. Think about that for a second. While we humans are juggling grocery lists, trying to remember where we left our keys, or struggling to recall a password from last week, elephants are archiving the precise GPS coordinates of seasonal rivers, logging the exact timing of fruiting trees, and meticulously storing the unique vocal signatures of every single calf they meet. Their memory isn't just for survival, it's an intricate living database of their entire world, constantly updated and ready for instant recall. It's a masterclass in biological data storage, making our digital cloud look, well, a little less impressive. Section 2. Smell that never sleeps. Memory isn't only about gray matter and complex neural networks, it's also, surprisingly, about nostrils. And what nostrils they are. Elephants possess an extraordinary sense of smell, boasting over 2,000 olfactory receptor genes. To put that in perspective, that's double the number found in even the most renowned sniffers of the animal kingdom, like bloodhounds. This isn't just about smelling a distant predator. It's about an entire sensory world we can barely comprehend. Imagine the power of that nose. Researchers in Kenya conducted an incredible study where they separated related female elephants for 12 long years. When these families were finally reunited, the elephants, without any other cues, still identified their kin by scent alone. Think about the sheer depth of that olfactory memory. 12 birthdays, 12 rainy seasons, countless new smells, and yet the aroma of an aunt, a sister, a mother, lingers in their memory like it was just yesterday. It's like a biological fingerprint, indelible and unmistakable. Their temporal lobes, those sophisticated processing centers, don't just handle smell in isolation. They process smell and sound in parallel, constantly wiring odor to specific events, individuals, and locations. So when an elephant exhales a puff of air and then flaps its ears, it's not just a casual greeting. It's a complex, multi-sensory scan. They're essentially accessing a mental Rolodex, cross-referencing scents and sounds to identify who passed by, what they might have eaten, and whether they looked healthy or stressed. It's a nuanced form of social intelligence powered by an unparalleled sense of smell, allowing them to instantly update their understanding of their social and environmental landscape. This isn't just smelling, it's remembering, analyzing, and anticipating, all in a single silent breath. Section 3. The Matriarchs Map. Now let's talk about memory in action, specifically how it literally saves lives. During the brutal 2019 drought in Tsavo, Kenya, a devastating period where water was scarce and life hung by a thread, something truly remarkable happened. Satellite collars tracking elephant herds showed one particular family doing something extraordinary. They walked 90 miles in an almost perfectly straight line, a journey of unwavering determination, directly to a hidden waterhole. What's so special about that? This wasn't just any waterhole. It was one that hadn't been used or even visited since 1992. The herd, parched and desperate, followed their 60-year-old matriarch, a wise and experienced leader who had last visited that very water source when she was just a teenager. Think about that for a moment. 3 decades had passed. The calves in that herd, too young to even comprehend the agony of thirst, survived solely because one female brain held a 3-decade-old, perfectly accurate map. Scientists have a name for this incredible phenomenon. They call it socially learned GPS. It's a living, breathing archive where every route, every seasonal watering schedule, every vital salt lick is logged and etched into memory through years of collective experience. This isn't just about navigation, it's about survival itself. The matriarch is more than just a leader. She is the herd's living library, their walking encyclopedia of survival. Lose the elder and you don't just lose an individual, you lose the library. This is why poaching isn't just a brutal act of greed that steals ivory. It's an ecological catastrophe that deletes living hard drives. When an experienced matriarch is killed, an entire generation of vital knowledge that can mean the difference between life and death for her family, is permanently erased. It's a silent, devastating loss that ripples through the entire ecosystem. Section 4. Faces, Voices, and Former Friends. Elephant memory isn't just for navigating landscapes. It's also profoundly personal, extending to faces, voices, and even the rekindling of friendships across decades. Take the heartwarming story from a sanctuary in Tennessee. 2 ex-circus elephants, Shirley and Jenny, met there after 23 long years apart. What happened next wasn't just a casual encounter. They chirped with evident joy, their trunks entwined in a tender embrace, and then they simply stood side by side for hours, a silent testament to a bond instantly re-established. The keepers, initially baffled by this intense connection, had no idea these two shared a past until old veterinary records surfaced, revealing they had indeed been in the same circus, in the same year all those decades ago. It was a reunion only they could have orchestrated, a memory only they could have held. This incredible capacity for individual recognition extends far beyond their own kind. Elephants can distinguish at least 100 individual human calls and match them to specific faces. Their ability to differentiate between humans, even those they've only encountered briefly, is truly astonishing. In Amboseli, researchers conducted an ingenious experiment. They played recordings of Maasai men, who historically sometimes spear elephants, versus Kamba farmers, who rarely pose a threat. The results were stark. The herd immediately retreated only for the Maasai voices, showing a clear, learned association of danger. What's even more impressive is that they did this even when the speaker was a Kamba woman wearing Maasai cloth, demonstrating that their memory and pattern recognition go beyond simple auditory cues. They can associate specific clothing or even a general vibe with a potential threat. This isn't just memory. It's sophisticated pattern recognition combined with adaptive learning, all working in concert for survival. It's a testament to their intelligence and their ability to constantly update their internal database of who's friend and who's foe. Section 5. Mourning and memory intertwined. Perhaps one of the most poignant and human-like aspects of elephant memory is their profound capacity for mourning. Elephants don't just forget their dead, they revisit carcass sites, sometimes years after a death, gently touching sun-bleached bones with their trunks. It's a ritual that speaks volumes about remembrance and connection. Cynthia Moss, a legendary elephant researcher, documented a mother elephant carrying her dead calf for days, refusing to let go. This wasn't just a private act of grief, it slowed the entire herd's pace, allowing every member to say their own quiet goodbye, to acknowledge the loss collectively. They communicate this profound sense of loss in ways we are only just beginning to understand. They vocalize in infrasound, a low rumble below the range of human hearing, a sound that can travel for miles across the savannah. It's their way of announcing loss, a mournful dirge that reaches out to relatives who may not have seen the deceased for seasons, uniting them in shared sorrow. And the science backs this up. brain scans of grieving elephants show the same limbic activity that we display during grief. This isn't just a coincidence, it's powerful evidence that memory and emotion share neural real estate in their minds, just as they do in ours. When an elephant places its trunk over a skull, it's not mere curiosity, it's not a detached investigation, it's something far deeper. It's biography. It's a moment of profound remembrance, a tangible connection to a life that once was, a life intricately woven into the fabric of their own memories. They are remembering a loved one, a family member, a friend, and acknowledging the void left behind. This ability to remember and grieve speaks volumes about their sentience and the rich, complex emotional lives they lead. Section 6. The Price of a Forgotten Generation. Despite all this incredible intelligence and emotional depth, elephants face an existential crisis. Today, tragically, one elephant is killed every 15 minutes. Think about that horrifying statistic for a moment. This isn't just about the loss of individual lives, it's about the systematic eradication of generations of knowledge, a collective memory being wiped clean at an alarming rate. When we remove the elders from a herd, we're not just taking away a leader, we're destroying the living library. The younger elephants, without the guidance of their experienced matriarchs, literally forget critical survival information. They forget the safe corridors, the ancient paths that avoid danger. They forget the precise timing of fruiting trees, vital food sources that sustain them through lean seasons. They even forget how to react appropriately to nuanced threats, like the presence of bees, which can be a nuisance or a genuine danger depending on context. We've seen the devastating consequences of this loss firsthand. In Pilanesberg National Park during the 90s, young orphan elephants, traumatized and without the crucial role models of their elders, began exhibiting highly aberrant behavior. They attacked rhinos and even vehicles, aggression virtually unheard of in normal elephant society. These were amnesiac youth, without the social memory and learned behaviors passed down through generations. The solution was incredible. Conservationists started shuttling older, experienced elephants from other reserves to act as mentors, to re-educate these lost generations. It worked. The older elephants, with their vast stores of social memory, were able to guide and calm the younger ones, re-establishing social norms and critical survival skills. If you want more videos that make science feel less like a lecture and more like story time, then you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the wonders of our world. And please, share this with a friend who still thinks animals just live in the moment. Let's prove them wrong together and open their eyes to the incredible sentience all around us. And if you've ever been lucky enough to witness elephant memory in action, or have a story that speaks to their incredible intelligence, drop a comment below. Your unique perspective might just feature in a future episode. An elephant's memory isn't just a captivating party trick or a cute idiom. It is, without exaggeration, the operating system of a civilization that predates our own by millions of years. They don't just remember facts, they remember love, danger, the precise location of life-sustaining water, and the profound ache of loss, all woven into a single, sweeping, and intricately detailed landscape of thought. Next time you hear that timeless phrase, "An elephant never forgets," I hope you'll remember this. They don't just store the past for nostalgia's sake. They safeguard the future, for their family, for their species, and if we pay close enough attention and learn from their profound wisdom, perhaps even for ours as well.